Don't forget to unmute yourself, please. Scott, I can't quite hear you. Okay, it looks like we might be having some technical difficulties. If for some reason we can't get Scott's speakers to work, I'm just going to get us started off. Thank you everybody for showing up to the June Cub Scout Roundtable. I know this is a little interesting situation, and I'm going to turn it over to our district chairman, Rick Schober, for some important announcements from his. Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, thanks, Nikki. These last few months, wow, what challenges they've presented for all of us in every aspect of our life. I really want to thank all of you for the efforts that you continue to give to scouting and keeping at it. And I think that's important as we move forward. We still, I know we're moving to yellow, but if you read over the information that came out with the Scouter Focus about meetings and so forth, we still have a lot of work to do in how do we go about presenting our program and how do we meet and so forth. So I know lots of you have come up with fantastic ideas of what you've been doing. Nikki told me of a scout unit that set up a virtual escape room. So I think the possibilities of what we can do are pretty boundless. So thank you for keeping at that. I do want to make one thing I do want to talk briefly about, and that's we've noticed a massive drop off in Cub Advancement, and we suspect that this may be tied to the COVID issues. If your units have been meeting virtually and working on your activities and so forth, please make sure that you get those advancements entered into Scoutbook or Internet Advancement so that we can track and be aware of what is happening. And I know Dan's going to talk in a little bit. He's going to talk about some summer advancement opportunities, but just want to get that out there. One thing we do need to still try and focus on, and we can do these things virtually, is the advancement portion of our program. So thank you again for keeping at it and hitting these challenges head on. And just all I can say is keep it up.
I'll get my plate going.
Sorry about that. I had to mute somebody. Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, I'm pretty much done at this point. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure if Scott's technical issue is worked out, so moving right along. Dan, are you ready to talk about the Scout at Home passport and patches?
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for having me. If you saw on the Scouter Focus yesterday, it came out. We've made some updates to the Scouting at Home program for the passport and for the patch. We've extended that through June 15th. So if scouts want to work on it, they have all the way up till June 15th to complete the passport and order the patch. We're trying to make it a little easier if units aren't interested in participating in a unit, but a family wants to participate, that's great. The family can then go in, order their patch if they want to do that. But the key is the patches need to be ordered by June 15th, and they have to be ordered through the website online and paid for through the website online. We will not have extra patches, so if 102 patches are sold, I'm ordering 102 patches. So please understand that. No extras will be in the Scout shop, available to purchase later. For Scouts BSA units, in venturing, I know not many of, this is Cub Scouts, but just so you're aware, units can kind of set their own criteria of what they would like for Scouts to earn the Scouting at Home patch. Whether that mean they just participate in virtual meetings or participate in a virtual event someplace, that's completely up to you guys. The reality is, if anybody wants to buy the patch, you're more than welcome to. It's available. Just use the form online. And that's all I've got on the Scouting at Home passport and patch.
Okay. The next topic is camp cards. If you haven't found out, the camp card sale has been extended until August. And all of the information is found online on the PA Dutch website under the camp card section. There's also an easy way online to pay for, and the council will actually ship the camp cards to whoever purchased them through the website. It costs about $1 more per card, but they are able to get the camp cards counted towards your unit and the youth. So please make sure that you let everybody know about that. Okay, back to Dan for camping.
Sure. One thing I want to quick toss out there with the virtual camp card thing is I think it's really cool. We're trying to stay engaged and involved in our communities, and through the virtual camp card sale, every camp card that's sold online through our website, the council is going to match and donate a card to a first responder or a medical professional. So that's something that we're doing to give back to our community, and we hope that that maybe encourages some other people to order those camp cards. And remember that those camp cards can be used all across the country. I have family members in Michigan that are ordering them because they're supporting our community, but also because they can save money at their local restaurants in Michigan as well, just using the online code. So I think that's a really cool piece that I think people are missing, and I think is really important to show our community involvement as the organization. So camping, and what is my topic? Camping and just camping, I guess. So as of right now, while we're in yellow phase, our camps are still closed. As soon as we're able to open them and make them available, we will let people know. Per the governor's guidelines, and they direct us to follow the DCNR, and Pennsylvania DCNR is currently not allowing and has suspended group camping. Group camping is defined as anybody outside of a household. So that would mean units cannot hold overnight campouts as a troop or as a pack until the DCNR lifts that suspension. We don't know when that will be. There's no even indication if that'll happen in green. But as soon as we have clarification and know when that's allowed, we will do our best to get the information out. We are looking at some virtual options for some camping programs, as well as some in-person programs. On a Cub Scout level, we're working to have a virtual program and an announcement about that by the end of the month. But there are also other great virtual programs out there. Scouting Wire today sent out some great virtual options. We would love to have you participate in our options once they're available, but it's still probably 2 to 3 weeks out before we have an announcement on opportunities for the Pennsylvania Dutch Council with camping virtual programs and in-person programs. And I think that's it for camping news. If you want, I'll just go right to the next topic, because it's also me summer advancement opportunities. For our packs, we have the same opportunities that we've had in the past historically with the summer passport program. We just actually today decided that we're going to do that as well. So basically they can go right from stay-at-home passport will end on June 15th. And the goal is shortly after that, if not just before that, we'll have the summer passport out. We are working on that right now. And as soon as the summer passport's ready, we'll have that out for our Cub Scout families to participate with. And National still also has the Summertime Pack Award as well. So I can't remember exactly what those requirements are, and I did not pull that up before the meeting, but I know historically one of the opportunities has been attend a summer camp. Obviously that's not available this year, but I would suspect as long as you meet the intent of the requirement, you would be good. So if there's a virtual program that they participate in, and you as the PAC decide that meets the intent of the requirement, you would still be able to qualify for the Summertime PAC Award. If you're not familiar with the Summertime PAC Award, I really encourage you to check it out. It's an award from National. You can get a fancy little certificate, and there's a pennant and pins, and there's some really cool opportunities, and there's different levels for each den for opportunities for them. So right now, that's what we have for summer advancement stuff, but we will have more coming. As soon as it's available, we will send it to everybody.
Thank you very much, Dan. All right. One of the opportunities that is out there that is going on right now is the first ever Scout On virtual race. Our council is doing a online race. The way that it works is that people can register for it and complete it anytime during the month of June. There are details for it on the council website. In fact, if it's one of the things that's on the banner, so as it scrolls across, you can click the link to that. There are two options. The first one is a 5K, and that's on foot. It can be run, walked, hiked, whatever works for you. The other one is a 15K, which can be done on bicycle. This is an opportunity for you to get out there, have some fun, get some exercise, enjoy nature, and do it safely. So feel free to register for that. If you would like to as a den, that would be wonderful. But make sure that everybody is doing it safely with social distancing. All right. Sheldon, are you ready for the Great Chefs announcements?
Sorry, forgot to unmute. Yes, greetings. August 20th is our scheduled Great Chefs. Obviously, we need to make sure that things are okay for us to meet. At this moment, if I'm correct, Dan and Nikki, we would not be allowed to hold this event under current circumstances. But keep your schedule open just in case. Would be August 20th. We would have our covered dish, cooking demo, etc., as well as roundtable and hopefully sort of like a mini program launch as well. And that would be starting at 6:30 at Camp Max Dining Pavilion. So stay tuned in case. Let's hope things change and we can get together.
Thank you, Sheldon. One of the things that we do at Great Chefs every year is give out district awards. And one of the special things that, I don't know if you knew this, but Jim Fowler and I both did Wood Badge this year. And we are very happy to say that we have both completed the ticket items, which means we are ready for the beading ceremony. So as long as the Great Chefs event has happened, we would like to cordially invite everybody to share with us in our Wood Badge beading at Great Chefs. All right. Next up, Scott, I'm not sure if we have you yet for the District Pinewood. So see if we can unmute you. Okay, it's not letting me unmute Scott. I guess the technical issues are still going on. What we would like to say about District Pinewood is we have tried a couple of times to see if we can host it, but due to circumstances beyond our control, we've had to postpone it to hopefully take place earlier in the day on the Great Chefs event. That's August 20th. So we will be having the information for registration updated shortly. Anybody who qualified as a Cub Scout is still eligible to participate in this year's race. So I will definitely be sharing that with the troops as well, in case you had somebody who was a 5th grader that has recently crossed over. All right. Moving along. The next thing we have topic-wise is recruitment. We don't know what this fall is going to look like for school availability. We don't even know when schools are going to start. One of the things that I would recommend to everybody right now is please try Googling your unit, see what pops up. Because the way that people are going to find out about your unit is usually through word of mouth or what they find online this day and age. If you do not have an online presence, I highly recommend you do something. We have the Be a Scout pin. On the district Facebook page, I recently shared an article from Brian on Scouting all about how to update your pin. It's fairly easy, but if for some reason you have any issues with it, I will give you the contact number for Nationals Help Desk. They are the ones that are able to assist with any of those challenges. Unfortunately, I do not have access to help you with those, so you have to go through National with it. There are ways to do the applications for youth online. That way, you don't have to worry about handing things into the office. Parents can pay for them that way, and it makes it easier on everybody involved. We are looking at different ways to help you promote your unit. Just like last fall, if you are having an event, if you want us to share it, we are able to do some geofencing and promoting via Facebook and other medias. So make sure that you share that information with us. Other than that, it's sort of a play by ear for what we might be able to do to help you this fall. So please make sure you're looking at how you are promoted in the community via social media means right now. Okay. This fall, we are also doing rockets again. So the rocket launch day is scheduled to be on the day of the breakfast hike. It is going to take place at about, I think about 2 in the afternoon, but we haven't figured out all the details quite yet. More information about that will be coming as soon as it's available. Okay, speaking of fall, Myrna, are you ready to talk about popcorn? Myrna, it's not letting me unmute you, so I think you'll have to do that at your end.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I know a lot of you aren't thinking about popcorn right now, but you should be. We, as well as the other 2 districts, have about 50% of our units signed up. We'd like to get that number higher. I do have 11 packs signed up, waiting for 8 more to sign up. And we have 18 troops signed up, waiting for 11 more to sign up. In regard to show and sell, if you're having a difficult time getting into any of the store locations to do storefront selling, can you please let me know so that we can send that information out to other people so that they are not also trying to go through the trouble of getting sites booked. If you do have sites that are cooperating, if you could also pass that information along so that if other people have those same contacts within their area, that maybe they can use those contacts for their area to maybe try something they've never tried before. I would recommend that you go heavily on online ordering this year. And in regard to Wagon Dragon, and there's 2 different ways you can do the Wagon Dragon. You can get the show and sell popcorn and actually physically go door to door with the popcorn, or you can go and do take order door to door. And I realize that a lot of people are going to be very concerned about the safety of doing this, especially if we don't know what we're going to be like at the time. But the sale does start August 1st, and your units, they should be getting their mailed forms sometime in July, probably mid to late July. But again, in regard to the Wagon Dragon and the show and sell, we are working on a sheet that your youth can take with them as they're going door to door. You can have a sheet that'll have the product that you actually have on Wagon Dragon, and you'll have a sheet that you can use for take order, so that you can hand them the sheets and they can either give you a call or they can go online and place an order, however you want to do it. I would say that this would be a great opportunity for you to promote your unit, use that sheet to have your information about your unit on it. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Myrna. All right. Since I have not seen Matt Blantz on the conversation yet, Matt is our district activities chairman. And right now, he is in charge of our breakfast hike. Myrna, can you mute your microphone? All right. So what I was saying is that the breakfast hike this fall, our committee has worked a little bit to update it because there is some interesting changes that we are going to be doing. One of which is we are going to be working on streamlining so that you can get to more of the stations. So instead of the 15 on 3 paths, we are going to be just doing 10 stations on one big path. There's also going to be some changes to how you check in. One of the main ones is that you are going to be checking in as a unit as opposed to individual families, just to help make sure that everything is a bit easier for everybody in the process. We're still going to be doing breakfast. Sheldon's troop has kindly offered to help run the kitchen again this year, which we thank him and his troop very much for that. We're still going to be doing a lot of the fun activities, but I know that there have been some questions about how can we do some of the things that would normally have been done during summer camp. Well, our committee has decided that this fall, we are going to base all of our stations off of what they would be doing for advancements, particularly things that are hard to do outside of the summer camp setting, to the best of our abilities at least. And one of the other fun things that we are doing is, back in the day, they had a patch design contest, and we have brought that back. So I emailed a flyer about it out earlier, and I will be sharing that with Dan so that it goes up on the district activities page about the breakfast hike. People who submit their designs, we need to have them in by a certain date. It is on the flyer, and all of them come to me so that I can make sure that the committee gets every single one of them. So please encourage your kids to take a look at the design flyer and see if they'd like to try to come up with something. They can go up to 9 colors. So as long as they follow the rules of the design contest, we'll accept them. All right. Next up, I believe, is our wonderful district commissioner, Jim Fowler. Jim? There you go, Jim. You're unmuted now.
Okay. All right. A few things I want to discuss this evening with is the one everybody's heard me talk about before is needing commissioners. And if you have in your area some young Eagle Scout that had just got his Eagle, wants to give back to scouting, and he's 21 years or older, wants to become a commissioner, we would gladly welcome him, and I think he or she would do a good job at doing it, because I have one right now, the unit commissioner who's young, and he's really doing a great job. All right. The next thing is JTE, and you heard Rick say about the Cub Scout Advancement being down. Yeah, I did see it. I was looking, but Cub Scout Camping, right now we're down, and I think that's because we haven't had any camping yet. So when you do your camping, make sure you go into Scout book for those boys and girls, and put their log in their camping and log in their advancements too. And that's going to lead me right into my next topic, which is Scout book. Before this pandemic, I knew nothing about Scout book, but one of my tickets, I was going to work at the camporee back at the beginning of May, got canceled, so I had to come up with another ticket item. So what I'm doing is working with Boy Scouts with merit badges, and through Scout book. You don't need to have a blue card for those who are interested in or know about blue cards, and you can just go in. You have to be invited, and this is the same way for Cub Scouts. The parents can go into Scout book and go in and mark what their child has done, and then the leader knows and can approve it, and it's a good tool to have done or to work with, and I'm enjoying working with it. So I'm a promoter of it right now. You don't even have to virtually talk to people, and just I love it. So, all right, that's all I have.
All right. We're at the time for question and answers. So if anybody has a question for any of the people who are on right now, please unmute your microphone, let us know what you'd like to know, and we will do our best to make sure that we get all of your questions answered today. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you put your name and pack number into the chat so that we can make sure we have your attendance taken.
One thing quick, and I don't want to correct Jim, but I want to make sure people understand for Cub Scout Camping in JTE, those numbers are actually based on summer camp numbers. So the numbers you see in JTE, Jim, are from last year. For 2020, since there is no summer camp program, the national office will be adjusting that, but they have not determined what that'll look like. So units cannot enter or do not have control over the Cub Scout camp information on JTE.
Thank you, Dan.
But if they're going to camp, okay.
All right. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Hopefully that means we've answered all of the questions that you had through our various topics. And if that's all right with you, thank you very much for everybody for showing up tonight. I will be sharing this hopefully to the district roundtable page so that anybody who couldn't make it can watch. And if you are one of those people, then I will gladly have you send an email to either myself or Jim so that we can make sure your attendance is counted as well. Thank you again, everybody. And I hope you have a great night and continue scouting on safely. I hope to see you all at the Great Chefs event. Take care.
That would be nice. Very good.